Gentrification, gentrification, gentrification. Say it 2 more times and ask yourself, have you ever heard of this word before? If you have, power to you. And if you haven't, more power to you, cause ignorance is bliss. Regardless, gentrification can explain a lot of the housing problems we have today. So, in this video, I'll look at gentrification to illustrate how the less fortunate will always get the short end of the stick in this country. Gentrification could be defined as the buying and renovation of houses and stores in deteriorated urban neighborhoods by upper or middle income families or individuals, which results in an increase in property values and rents, change in neighborhood character and culture, and the displacement of longtime residents and businesses. Basically, gentrification is when rich white folk come to the hood, buy everything up, kick the poor black folk out, and then claim they're from the hood. Anyways, gentrification is caused by America's renewed interest in city life. People are attracted to the cities by new jobs, but when they get there, they realize there's a scarcity in housing. As a solution, they set their eyes on urban neighborhoods that were abandoned by white America during suburbanization to meet their housing needs. The convenience, diversity, vitality, and availability of cheap housing in urban neighborhoods are major draws. The character and culture of urban neighborhoods are aspects these newcomers want to immerse themselves in. They want to be part of the cool and see the old houses and industrial buildings as fixer-uppers for investment opportunities. The process can occur in a small or large scale. For example, individuals can slowly populate an area because of renovations. Once a few familiar white faces are present, more will be willing to make the move. Word travels fast that an attractive neighborhood has been discovered, and the pace of change accelerates rapidly. On the other hand, large-scale redevelopment and the accompanying regeneration can cause an immediate shift in neighborhood residents. Either way, gentrification is terrible. If you watched my last video, Housing Segregation, Creation of the American Ghetto, you'll understand that government policy of housing segregation created the urban neighborhoods, aka ghettos, that these people want to gentrify. The bad conditions in the ghettos were created when government denied adequate services, frequently ignored garbage collection, building maintenance, and create disorder by limiting the supply of housing outside the ghettos to black families, causing overcrowding. Despite this neglect, black residents were able to persevere, build and create character and culture in the ghettos. But now, gentrifiers want to come in and take advantage of this. And all of a sudden, local governments want to do whatever they can to fix the bad conditions they created in the ghettos. Yes, you heard that right. With renewed interest in the ghettos, local governments began to cater to the needs of the new residents. They believed that the arrival of these upper-class individuals would add more revenue to the local economy. So they start making changes that they could have made when the older residents needed them to attract more of these newcomers. And this is a classic example of how the voice of the less fortunate gets ignored while the voice of the fortunate gets recognition. Anyways, with gentrification, the slum conditions of the ghettos get fixed. And now what happens? Does the newcomers and old residents come together and live happily ever after in the newly renovated neighborhood? Nope, shit ain't sweet with gentrification. No old resident is safe from being forced out, and the most vulnerable of them all are renters. As renovations happen and more high-income white residents move in, rents begin to increase. As prices go up, renters are pushed out, whether through natural turnover or evictions. Furthermore, as buildings are sold, buyers often evict the existing renters to move in themselves, combine several units, or bring in new residents at a higher rate. On the other hand, homeowners might be less vulnerable, but best believe they are eventually pushed out when they decide to give in and accept a high price offer from gentrifiers for their homes. And let me not forget about the local small business owners. They're also not safe from gentrifiers. Local shops may be viewed as a nuisance or environmental hazard by new residents. As a result, they may lose their lease to build way for more known businesses like a Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, or Jamba Juice. With that, ain't no more corner store, Haitian, Jamaican, or Nigerian spot. There's a whole bunch of vegan, gluten-free, ethnic-inspired spots. In conclusion, gentrification is capping. First, they force us into the ghettos, deny us adequate services, ignore infrastructure, and limit housing availability with housing segregation. Then turn around with renewed interest and yearning to be part of the ghettos. And finally, they kick us out and make renovations to the ghettos. And the thing is, gentrification is not even sustainable. Without us the area loses its identity and becomes just as bland as its new residents. And this makes me mad because I believe there's solutions where both old and new residents can benefit from the building of a strong, economically diverse community. But as you know, in the capitalist society, there will always be greed. People standing to gain from the loss of others. And gentrification is no exception. Less fortunate individuals are the losers, struggling to live with higher and higher costs of living, while more fortunate individuals are living comfortably and making a profit off the higher cost of living and the misery of the less fortunate.